A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I want A+ English because it's so much fun. English education for you and everyone, so come along. Learn some grammar, learn a phrase, learn something new every day. Learn the A+ way. Hey, it's time to start the show. Are you ready? Good, 'cause here we go. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I want A+ English.
Hi everybody, welcome back to A+ English. I'm Pat.
I'm Chickling.
And we're with David and Monica as they're eating their way around Chiayi. Now they started off with sweet stuff yesterday. They were having this sweet kind of almost soup-like taro. So our warm-up question is, what kind of sweet food do you like and when do you eat it?
Brownies. They're
like
my
brownies?
favorite, but I don't really eat brownies that much anymore because they're really high in calories. But back in high school, I used to have them every day.
Wow.
I had it for my breakfast, sometimes for my tea time.
Wow.
What about
Brownie
you?
breakfast. That sounds cool.
It's really heavy.
Sweet food, I guess you got to put ice cream right up there at the top of the list.
Yeah.
I do love ice cream. When it's a hot day, I'm always thinking, yeah, I should just go and buy a cheap ice cream or something. 7-Eleven or McDonald's. Yeah. It doesn't have to be a fancy Haagen-Dazs or something like that, but yeah, just an ice cream. So I'll eat that at lunchtime, maybe as a sort of dessert on a summer's day or walking around in the afternoon. So yeah, I'm going to go with ice cream. But what are David and Monica eating today in Chiayi? Let's read through day 2 and find out.
Discover Taiwan.
David and Monica eat their way around Chiayi. Warm-up question. What kind of sweet food do you like? When do you eat it?
David and Monica drive to Southgate Cold Meatball.
This place sells steamed meatballs, not fried ones. They're cold and they go well with mayonnaise.
Delicious.
They finish their meatballs.
Are you ready for more dessert? We can go to Ping An Tofu Pudding.
That place is famous for douhua.
They drive there and look at all the choices.
First, pick the soup base. There are so many.
I want red bean. How about you?
I'll go with black sesame. Then we pick something to go inside.
I'll pick peanuts.
I want boba.
They eat their douhua.
This was a great food trip.
I agree.
Are you ready for more dessert? Do you want some more dessert now? I'm ready for more dessert. What about you?
This was a great food trip. I liked the food on this trip. This trip was great for food.
Word power.
Sell, 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 sold, sold. This store sells food, drinks, and small toys. This store sells food, drinks, and small toys. Dessert, dessert. After a good meal, I like to eat cake for dessert. After a good meal, I like to eat cake for dessert. Base, base. Vegetables are the base for this salad. There's also some fruit in it. Vegetables are the base for this salad. There's also some fruit in it. Agree, agree. Kevin wanted to eat at that Italian restaurant, and I agreed with him. Kevin wanted to eat at that Italian restaurant, and I agreed with him.
认识字汇
Steamed. Steamed. Meatball. Meatball. Fried. Fried.
So we start day 2 by seeing that David and Monica drive to Southgate Cold Meatball.
OK， 所以他们接下来就骑车到南门凉肉圆。
Here, Monica tells David about the food. She says this place sells steamed meatballs, not fried ones.
哇哦，所以 Monica 就说了，他们去了这一间店有在卖清蒸的肉圆哦，不是炸的。那我们先来看一下 sell 这个单字。Sell 就是卖或者是出售的意思。我们讲一下它的三态，就是 sell, sold, sold。那如果卖东西给别人，可以说 to sell something to someone or to sell someone something。那我们造两个句子 ：He sold his house to his good friend。或者我们把 good friend 移到前面，变成 He sold his good friend his house。那么东西如果卖完了 we can say sell out。For instance, the tickets were sold out, so we weren't able to go to the show. 那课文例句是 This store sells food, drinks, and small toys. 这间店呢有卖食物跟饮料，还有小玩具。
So sell is a pretty common verb, especially when we talk about shops. One shop sells clothes, another shop sells shoes, and more shops sell more stuff. Here, we're talking about selling steamed food.
Yeah, 所以 steamed 就是蒸的意思。
Yeah, it's a way of cooking which uses the steam from very hot water to cook it. It's a healthy way. Steaming food keeps a lot of its good stuff in it. Lots of foods can be steamed. Think of dumplings, a lot of vegetables, fish. Many things can be cooked by steaming them. Here, the food that's being steamed is meatballs.
这边的 meatballs 就是台湾的一种肉圆的意思，那就跟那个国外的肉圆不太一样。meatball 就是肉圆的意思。
I've heard you can get good meatballs at IKEA.
I love them.
I don't eat meat myself, but I've heard they're good. I think they're fried.
Yeah, I think so. 他们可能是煎的或油炸的 fried 这个字。
Yeah, frying is another cooking method. Fried food is cooked in oil. And fried foods generally taste pretty good. The oil gives them a nice kind of cover and flavor, but they're not always healthy. Don't eat too many fried foods like fried chicken, fried donuts, and things like that. But as we said, these meatballs are steamed in this Jai store, so they should be healthier. We also see that Monica says they're cold and they go well with mayonnaise.
Yeah, 所以 Monica 就说她的肉圆是凉的，所以跟美乃滋很搭哦。那这边的 go 可以当搭配的意思，那么 go 也有很多意思，像是变成啊 become 或者是开始进行从事什么活动都可以。就像昨天讲到牛奶坏掉，我们也是用 go 这个字 The milk went sour 牛奶坏了 Or are you ready to go 你准备好了吗？
So here we're talking about foods that go well together. The combination of them improves the overall effect. So hamburgers with cheese and French fries, that's a combination that works. Apple pie and ice cream, brownies and ice cream.
With ice cream is good.
Peanut butter and jelly when it's in a sandwich.
Oh yeah, that's good. I love apple pie with ice cream too. And brownies, as we said.
Definitely brownies and ice cream. Hot brownies, cold ice cream.
Wow, so good
Superb.
together.
I think we've just sorted out our lunch. And David likes the sound of this. He says, delicious.
David 说，哇，听起来好好吃哦。
And then we see that they finish their meatballs.
So, are they gonna eat anything else after 吃完了之后呢？他们要干嘛呢？
Monica then asks, are you ready for more dessert?
OK， 所以又是 sweet 了。那我们来看一下 dessert 这个单字。 Dessert 就是甜点跟点心的意思。那提一下大家比较常搞混的，就是我们把一个 s 拿掉，会变成 desert。这个就是可以当名词或形容词，有沙漠或沙漠的意思。那它也可以当动词哦。不过当动词的时候呢 ，we pronounce it a little differently。我们会说 dessert， 其实跟它的原本的甜点的发音是一样，那它就有抛弃的意思。那课文例句是 After a good meal, I like to eat cake for dessert。在一顿好料之后呢，我喜欢吃蛋糕当做甜点。
The idea of a dessert is that it should come at the end of the meal, and it's generally sweet, so ice cream, cake, sweet pies, and fruit. Main courses aren't often sweet, and this means the desserts taste very different. And that kind of effect actually makes us want to eat a little more. That, oh, I want a different flavor to kind of complete my experience. So they're going for something sweet, some kind of dessert, and Monica adds, we can go to Ping An Doufu Pudding.
所以 go 刚刚提到可以搭配的意思，这边就是去哪里的那个去。那他们接下来要去平安豆花。
David has heard of this place and says that place is famous for 豆花。
哇，所以呢 ，David 就说这个地方豆花超级有名的耶。
Next, we see that they drive there and look at all the choices.
所以他们就骑车到那边，然后看看有什么可以做选择。So what do they eat there?
Well, Monica is going to explain how they order at this place. She says, first, pick a soup base.
所以他们要先选汤底耶，就是看你要什么口味的。所以首先就是 first。那在这边我们看一下时间顺序的用法。Let's go to our magic box.
Magic box.
Guys， 我觉得我在这个皇宫快待不下去了。从小到大，我都必须遵守好多的规矩。我的父亲苏丹王说什么，我都得服从，也无法有太多自己的意见。First, I have to wake up very early in the morning. Then, I have to put on a pretty dress. After that, I eat breakfast. Finally, I need to take etiquette classes. 每天不断重复一样的事情，我真的好压抑，我好想要逃走啊，各位。没错，大家都听到了吗？虽然我生活在皇宫里面，日子好像无忧无虑的，但听从父亲的指示过每一天，真的是非常无趣，好吗？今天就要跟大家分享一下从早到晚我在皇宫里做的事情哦。刚好也带到了一些表示时间顺序的用词。First, I have to wake up very early in the morning. 这边我们所用到的第一个表示时间顺序的转折词是 first， 表示首先的意思哦。首先我必须要非常早起。假日也是一样哦，看看我多可怜就好了。表达首先除了用 first， 你也可以用 first of all。First of all, I have to wake up very early in the morning. 好，做完这件事情之后呢 ，Then I have to put on a pretty dress. 然后呢，我就必须穿上美美的洋装。是的，在皇宫是不允许太随便的穿着哦。每天这样真的很累耶，不能就穿着 T 恤和牛仔裤，不是很好吗？好啦，所以呢，表示然后再来就可以用到 then。除此呢，也能用 second、next、after that， 都有一样的意思哦。好，那穿完之后呢，就准备吃早餐啦。After that, I eat breakfast。最后呢，最后，我最讨厌的来了，最讨厌的课程就是我必须要上礼仪课Finally, I need to take etiquette classes. 天哪，我就不能像一般人一样轻松过日子吗？好啦，说了那么多时间顺序的转折词，同学们可以借由这些词帮你整理一下事件的顺序哦。同学们听完我的一天，是不是觉得真的是好无趣哦？好吧，那换你们好了，快点套用上面所学的，跟我分享你的一天吧。
Welcome back. So there we're looking at what we call adverbs of sequence. There are a lot of ways we can explain the order of events or steps. We could use number ordinals, first, second, third, or other adverbs like next, then, and finally. Now here, the first thing they need to do is pick their soup base.
那我们来看一下 base。Base 这边是当名词，是指食物或物质的主要成分。那么除了基底的意思以外呢，也可以当总部哦。譬如说 My company's base is in Taipei. 我公司的总部在台北。那么 base can also be used as a verb. 比如说 be based on something 或者 to base something on something. 把什么建立在什么上面。譬如说 Relationships should be based on trust. 感情呢，应该建立在信任上。那我们的课文例句是 Vegetables are the base for this salad. There's also some fruit in it. 这道沙拉呢，是蔬菜当基底，里面还有很多水果。
So base is kind of like the main ingredient that other stuff is added to or goes on top of. The soup base is what the soup is made of. Onion soup has onions. Leek and potato soup has these vegetables. If you go to a hot pot restaurant, the soup base is like what the soup is. Is it mala? Is it sort of, herbal broth, chicken broth, that kind of stuff? We could also talk about a pizza base. And this is the bread the rest of the food goes on. A thick crust, a thin crust, stretchy stuff. What is the bread part made of?
So what bases can they get at the Douhua shop?
Well, Monica says there are so many.
好多可以选择哦。
And David knows what he wants. He says, I want red bean. How about you?
所以 David 说，那我要点红豆的。那 Monica 你呢？
Monica says, I'll go with black sesame. And notice we're using go in yet another different way here.
所以 go 这个 go 就是有 like go for 或者是我想要选什么的意思。所以我要选黑芝麻的。
All right, so here go means the same as choose. Like, I want that, I'll pick that, I'll go for that. Next, Monica says, then, so there's another one of these adverbs of sequence, then we pick something to go inside. And look, yet another way to use go.
所以接下来呢 have 就选择搭配汤底的东西。那么 go 在这边就是把这个料放到汤底里面的意思。
Yeah, it's almost like put inside. So it's the stuff that you've got the soup. What are you putting in the soup? We know that David has red bean soup, and we see that he adds, I'll pick peanuts.
David 就说他要加 peanuts， 就是花生的意思。
And Monica says, I want boba.
珍珠。
So we then see that they eat their douhua.
他们就开始吃咯。
David then says, this was a great food trip.
Great 就是好棒的，所以 David 就非常喜欢这次的美食之旅，超级棒的。
And the article finished with Monica saying, I agree.
So agree 这个单字，我们来看一下今天最后一个单字。Agree 就是赞同或者是有相同意见的意思，所以如果你赞同某一个人，你就可以说 to agree with them or to agree with someone。比如说你支持我，你赞同我的意见吗？ Do you agree with me？ 或者是两个人呢对某一件事有一样的意见，我们就会用 on。比如说 We agreed on what to buy as a present for our teacher。在我们的 on 后面通常会加上一件事物。那课文例句是Kevin wanted to eat at that Italian restaurant, and I agreed with him. Kevin 呢想要在那间意大利餐厅吃饭，然后我是赞同他的。
Here's another way we can use this verb. Sam agreed to help me move house next week. And of course, we saw an interesting way to agree in day one when Monica said, why not? That's basically agreeing. But that is the end of today's article, so let's now go to today's review time activity.
Review time.
Okay, so Monica and David went on their Jai food trip.
Yeah.
So let's have a think. What would be our Taipei
Oh.
food trip.
Okay.
Okay. Maybe try and think of 3 or 4 different dishes that you would go around, maybe
Okay.
with somebody who's new to Taipei. What would you take them to eat? Think of like they saw sweet foods and bigger foods
Okay.
and sour foods. What would you go with?
Well, I'm going to start with breakfast. Okay?
All right, breakfast
yes,
it is.
For breakfast, if I have to take you somewhere, I think I'll take you to a place that sells omelet
Okay.
or xiaolongbao.
Right,
steamed
right.
ones, maybe?
Yeah,
it's
something like that.
Really delicious. And for lunch, you like hot noodles, right?
I do, yes.
I'm gonna take you to this really nice restaurant in Xinyi district.
Oh.
It sells the best beef noodles.
Okay.
And it doesn't close until 4 a.m.
Wow.
in the morning. So
All
if you
right.
get hungry at night, it's a really good place to go.
Perfect. Okay. Anything snacky? What's a good snack we can get?
We can get scallion cakes.
Yes, love them.
Oh, me too.
Fantastic.
And for dinner, I think we can skip it because we've been eating
We're
too
full.
much.
We've been eating all day. Okay.
What about you?
I would definitely go to. I think it's Gao Liang Mian. It's a really good Liang Mian restaurant just off Xinyi Road.
Okay.
Kind of promoting their business because I love their noodles. They just do really good Liang Mian. It's very simple, but it's just right. Hits the spot every time. I would also maybe go to Raohe Night Market because of their Hujiaobing, the famous ones right at the front entrance.
Yeah.
I think I took my parents and my brother there. That's like a must-have kind of thing.
Did they like it?
My brother loved them. Yeah, he was all over those things. What else can we go for in Taipei? Something snacky. Oh, those Huashenjiang binqiling with the peanut powder, the ice cream, and the wrap, and the Shanghai on top.
Oh, okay.
I don't know where the best one is in Taipei.
Okay, but you've tried it before.
Try and find something like that for them. Otherwise, something big, something tasty. I guess you probably have to go to somewhere like Din Tai Fung. Just let them experience all the different possibilities there. So, yeah, my parents like that too. Okay, that is our Taipei food trip. What about yours? What would you put in that trip? Have a think about it. But that's all the time we've got. Thanks for watching, everybody. For A+ English, I'm Pat.
I'm Chikling.
We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Discover Taiwan.
David and Monica eat their way around Jiayi. Warm-up question. What kind of sweet food do you like? When do you eat it?
David and Monica drive to Southgate Cold Meatball.
This place sells steamed meatballs, not fried ones. They're cold and they go well with mayonnaise.
Delicious.
They finish their meatballs.
Are you ready for more dessert? We can go to Ping An tofu pudding.
Ah, that place is famous for douhua.
They drive there and look at all the choices.
First, pick the soup base. There are so many.
I want red bean. How about you?
I'll go with black sesame. Then we pick something to go inside.
I'll pick peanuts.
I want boba.
They eat their douhua.
This was a great food trip.
I agree. Are you ready for more dessert? Do you want some more dessert now? I'm ready for more dessert. What about you?
This was a great food trip. I liked the food on this trip. This trip was great for food.
Word power.
Sell, 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 sold, sold. This store sells food, drinks, and small toys. This store sells food, drinks, and small toys. Dessert, dessert. After a good meal, I like to eat cake for dessert. After a good meal, I like to eat cake for dessert. Base, base. Vegetables are the base for this salad. There's also some fruit in it. Vegetables are the base for this salad. There's also some fruit in it. Agree, agree. Kevin wanted to eat at that Italian restaurant, and I agreed with him. Kevin wanted to eat at that Italian restaurant, and I agreed with him.
认识字汇
steamed, steamed. Meatball, meatball. Fried, fried.